Hi everybody! Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin ngayong araw na to. This is your Financial Saturday. Lagi tayong nagkukwentuhan pagdating ng Sabado dahil kailangan natin mag-detox sa buong linggo at matuto pa kung paano i-handle ang ating pera. I'm your host, Salvi Duplito, ang tinatawag na Financial Beshi ng Bayan. If you are new in my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with the people you love para hindi na kayo kailangan mag-sermon tungkol sa pera. Ako na lang ang maninermon pagdating sa pera. We have two great guests today. So please make sure that you have a pen and paper beside you at medyo pwede kayong mag-notes dyan. At dahil napaka-inspiring but also very educational ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong araw na to. Bigatin po ang guest natin at dahil nga sa kanila, yes, meron na po akong first honor. Si Aris Balora, nandito na siya dahil inaabangan niya ang kanyang crush maya-maya. Si Kevin Adrian, ayan, parehong YouTube at Kumu pa ang pinapanood niya sabay. Jenny Lynn, sabi niya, good evening daw. And Adi is of course also in the stream mamaya. And this is my beshi also. Ayan, Saturday Habit is back. Nag-break po kasi tayo ng Holy Week. Ayan, LV Tolentino is here. We have a lot of people watching. Ito po si B. Batino. And paki-comment nyo nga po sa stream kung taga saan kayo para maintindihan natin where you are right now. And from where you're watching, ayan, meron tayo from Dubai. Pakita lang natin, ha? Ayan, meron tayong from Dubai. So, Financial Saturday has become a Saturday habit among people who always keep watching the show. Salamat po sa mga nasa Kumunisens. Pasensya na. Ayan, Renz is watching also from Abu Dhabi. Hello po sa Class Fam. Meron po tayong mga nanonood sa Calamba City, Cavite, ayan, Singapore. Maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood lagi. Tugegaraw, we're everywhere today. And sa napakalayong lugar ng Manila. Wait lang, nawawala po sila. Ayun. Alright, so this week, ayan, meron lang po akong ikukwentong konting maiksing news which I saw in Inquirer just today. Somebody's watching from Tagaytay. This is interesting to me dahil ang nangyari dito, a mother, yung may twin siya, dalawang anak niya, ay naiwan sa bahay and they were playing with their iPad, their new iPad. Unfortunately, yung shopping app hindi natanggal sa iPad. So these two 10-year-old girls used the app and got hold of their mother's credit card. At alam mo ba, nakapag-shopping sila ng worth 90,000 pesos. Grabe, di ba? So pagbalik ng nanay, na-realize na, hi to Kilel, hello po. Thank you. I love you too. Watching from... Ay, eto po. May I love you po tayo lagi dito. And Marco Juan is watching from Abu Dhabi and somebody from Bacoor, Cavite and Pasay. Ayan. So anyway, just a little thought on what happened to this mother. Hindi naman natin mabiblame yung mga bata because I don't think they understood that this was real money they were spending, ano? Pero ang lesson siguro sa atin as financial advocates, ay yung mga tao na gustong i-manage yung pera natin wisely, number one, we need to secure our financial information so that hindi magamit not just by other people but also people in our household na hindi pa dapat nakaka-access doon. And number two, tuturuan natin kahit ng mga anak natin na maliliit pa about what is money, where does it come from, how should we spend it, how should we use it, and more importantly, ano yung mga financial values that we should have. Shout out po kay Love Charisma de la Cruz. Ayan, maraming salamat po for joining. Parang nasa Kumu ka, love, at nasa YouTube ka pa. Hindi ka ba nahihilo? Ayan. So, having said that, I hope that's also helpful to those who are watching today. Gawin natin malaking aral yung naging experience ng ating kaibigan na nawalan ng um, 90,000 pesos dahil pinang-shopping ng anak nila ng expensive toys from Amazon. Yes po, siyang tunay. Dapat secure your financial information lalo na ngayon. At dahil dyan, diretso na po tayo sa ating Gen Z guest. I love to introduce to you Adi Cotoco. Akyat ka, Adi, on the stream.
Hello, Miss Salve. How are you?
So happy to see you again, Adi.
Happy
I
to see
met
you too.
Adi in one of our shows for Job Street. And
Yes.
guys, bakit di ako nag-shout out? Ni-shout out kita, love. Ayan, si Miss
Hi,
Mary.
MC.
Huwag na po magtampo. Ayan. So, si Miss Mary ay ating follower here and also on Kumu, Lola Dali, maraming salamat. So, balik ako kay Adi, no? When I
Yes.
met Adi in the Job Street event, medyo jaw-dropping experience I was saying earlier. Because this is the first time that I've seen someone as young as Adi save 70% of his income. Eh, doon pa naman siya sa Shopee nagtatrabaho.
Yes, exactly.
You're teaching people how to buy stuff, but you yourself, you know how to use your money wisely. Paano mo nagawa yun, Adi?
Okay, kasi for me, I think this is based on just not everyone can do it. I think based on the current situation. Sa akin kasi, I'm not saying that I am rich or like I come from a rich family, pero we are comfortable. So basically, my parents are still helping me buy my needs. Basically, food, water, clothes, and everything are shouldered by parents. So my income from my current job is basically all mine, which I can manage very easily. That's why I have this 70/30, wherein the 70% of my income I really save and put into my account, and 30% is used for my wants and needs, basically. So I'm not saying na you guys should do it, but if you have the means to do it just for your own financial security, I think you should try para at least mas mabilis yung process of pag-iipon natin. You know, when
Mm-mm.
something like this ever happens again.
Paano mo naiiwasan? I'm sure in your line of work, it's so tempting to buy
It
stuff.
is. Kasi
Di ba?
we know all the discounts, we know all the future campaigns that are going to ano. Actually, for me, what I do is I first add it to my cart. Tapos, after 1 week, when example 5-5 arrives, I would check my cart again. Parang sabi ko, okay, do I really want this? Do I really want this? And then, like, if not, I would delete it na agad. So, basically, by doing that, I would get rid half of my shopping list on on the app. Kasi basically people, they have wants pero it's not the long term eh. Parang you just want it now kasi you see it on your phone. Pero like, give it 1 week or 2 weeks and then look at your list again. I am sure one or two items there you wouldn't want na kasi last week mo lang siya gusto. So, always rethink about your purchases kasi for me, impulse purchases are like super bad when you come to think of it kasi you will just regret it sometimes. Yeah.
Oo, yung pakatapos mo magbayad, parang, bakit ko
Yeah.
ginawa to?
Parang next
Iyak
week,
na.
bakit meron ako nito? Parang, ano naman siya, useless naman pala siya for me. Yung mga ganun.
Ate Flora. Ate Flora is in the stream. Maraming salamat. Ayan, so Adi, what do you do with your 70%?
Actually, because I came from a Chinese family, they always taught me how to save. So yes, we have bank accounts, passbooks, time deposits. So I put it there para at least hindi ko na siya magastos. Pero I also keep some in cash in case that some emergency arises. Kasi yun din yung turo sa akin ng parents ko na always have cash, whether in your wallet or in the safe sa room mo, para at least when something happens, you really have something to spend, di ba?
Mhm.
Pero that cash is strictly for medical emergencies, food emergencies, or like yung talagang life to death situations lang talaga.
And which is something that you should always keep in mind.
Yes.
Dahil baka maging emergency yung, wait, may sale ngayon!
Ah, guys, hindi siya emergency. Next week na yan.
Which I love your tip because it allows people to, pagdating, di ba usually, lalo na pag nagde-depress tayo, this pandemic medyo malungkot, you're seeing a
Yes.
lot of people in difficult situations, and tapos hindi tayo nakakalabas masyado, hindi nakaka-travel. So sometimes, ang ginagawa ng mga tao,
Shopping.
doon na lang nila
Yeah.
shopping, di ba? So when you add to cart, you have that feeling na nakapag-shopping ka, pero actually hindi ka pala gumastos. So guys,
Yes.
tandaan nyo yung tip na yan because it's really, really very useful. Actually, ako rin ginagamit ko rin yan,
Yeah.
Adi, kasi mahilig din ako mag-shopping online
Of
dahil
course.
hindi ka
Lahat naman ata tayo
nakaka-compare ng
ngayon.
price.
Oo, lahat naman ata tayo. Pero kasi, it's not bad naman to treat yourself sometimes, especially if you are working and yun na nga, sobrang hirap na ngayon na parang everyone is really tired. So, it's okay to treat yourself like, I don't know, food or something na luho mo once in a while. Pero then again, tulad din sa akin ng parents ko na never spend more than what you earn. Kahit na meron niyang 12 months to pay or whatever. Pagka, if you are not earning that much yet, kaya mo naman yan ipagpaliban muna. Yeah, never spend more than you earn talaga.
Ayan. Pero Adi, bago ko paakyatin yung ating next guest, 2 questions for you. One,
Go.
baka magbigay ka ng tips para makakuha ng mas maraming discount yung mga viewers natin. Baka meron ka dyan.
Meron
Interesting.
actually. As in,
Ko yung
sobrang
next
daming
guest.
vouchers
Yes.
palagi.
Ayan.
Sobrang daming vouchers ang Shopee. You just have to look for it talaga. Sa mga shops, meron yan.
As in significant discounts. Pati shipping ba?
Meron. You can order, I think, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. para free shipping. I think
Oh,
meron gano'n ng Shopee. Yeah.
puyatan pala ito mga beshi. Kailangan wag tayong matulog. 12 to 2. Ayan. Uy, adding to cart can be therapeutic. It can satisfy the craving to shop. Ayan. Si Fitz Villafuerte is also a celebrity in the world of personal finance. Yan. Uy, follower ka. Ay,
Thank you.
yan,
Thank you,
TikToker kasi
Fitz.
si Fitz. Oo, TikToker kasi yan. Yan ang nag-invite sa akin sa TikTok. Pero alam mo, Adi, hindi talaga nag-prosper yung TikTok ko.
Kaya yan. Just give it time.
Ayan. Second question for you. Where would you like to invest your money for long-term goals? Like, I'm sure you're already, even though you're one of the youngest people who got into the workforce, sabi mo 19 ka pa lang, nagtrabaho ka na, so you had your first paycheck at 19. Imagine we have 40 years more than 40 years to prepare for your retirement. Where would you like to put your money so that you can make it grow?
Actually, right now, not if ever I want to make it grow, I am not very well versed kasi on stocks, on stock investment. So I would not like to dip my feet there first. Pero I think based on my family's background, real estate is really good. If you have that amount of money to splurge on, kasi just invest on things that are appreciating and not depreciating. So example, cars. I would not buy cars for myself na talagang, example, Ferrari, Lamborghini, but I would buy properties instead.
Unless siguro you can buy Ferrari from Shopee. Joke lang.
Next time, pwede na yun, Miss Ale.
All right. Thank you so much, Adi. We'll bring you back for the question and answer portion, live Q&A with Adi and our next guest. So everybody who want to ask questions, just type it and then we can go back to your questions when Adi returns. Thank you, Adi. And because of Adi's last statement, papapasukin ko po natin ang ating napakaganda. Pero hindi yun ang pinaka-importanting aspect ng kanyang pagkatao. Ang kanyang brain po yung napakatalino talagang babae nito. Mapapanood nyo rin siya sa ANC lagi dahil may show din siya doon. April Litan, ang crush ng bayan.
Hi, Salve, and hi to all your viewers or the YouTube people who are there. Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, as you have said.
Ayan. So, April, narinig mo si Adi kanina sa baba at kanina sa stream nagkukwento
Yes.
about wanting to invest but not parang hindi pa masyadong marunong about stocks. Today, we're going to talk about a stock spotlight. Ang tawag
Mhm.
natin. Your favorite stock or yung something that you're really interested in this week, which is PLDT.
PLDT. Yeah.
Ayan. So, bakit PLDT?
Well, first of all, alam naman natin, despite the pandemic, people still use data. So it's resilient in that respect. We want to buy something that is parang pandemic proof, right? And the beauty of it is, nagbibigay pa siya ng cash dividend. So versus, let's say for a newbie who's used to putting money in, say, the banks, earning interest on time deposit, if you buy PLDT stocks, you actually get some cash dividend, and the dividend yield is so attractive right now. Nasa 6% na siya. Eh, alam naman natin ngayon, ang time deposit, pumapalakpak ka na sa 1%, di ba? So, so yun. I think the caveat is, syempre, medyo pangit ang market ngayon. So, if you buy stocks like PLDT, just make sure na may holding power ka at kaya mo siyang hawakan ng matagal. Because over time, I'm sure, you're gonna make a lot of money, tataas yung price, tapos makakuha ka pa ng cash dividend. So, that's the reason why I like it. Also, we're seeing the insiders actually start buying the stock. So, that's a very good vote of confidence na alam natin na maganda ang future outlook ng PLDT.
Galing, galing. But before ako pumunta sa susunod na question, ang dami mong fans eh. Hindi natin sila pwedeng kalimutan. Sandali. Ayan. Balik na naman si Fitz. Lagi kanyang pinapanood.
Oh, thank you.
Tapos, ayan, wait lang ha. Baka magtampo kasi matampuin na ating friends. Right. Ayan, meron ng mga questions. Hindi pa nga tayo hindi pa tayo nag-question and answer. Si JV can talk, shout out lang. Maraming salamat for joining the Marketing Sensei Jerry Yao. Ang daming celebrity sa ating stream ngayong araw na ito. Maraming salamat po. And again, shout out po sa Classroom Fam na sumusugod lagi. Fritz Mix, thank you for joining the stream. Sorry, April, ganito talaga tayo sa live streaming. Hindi mo to
Yeah,
magagawa sa
it's
audience.
okay. Yeah. Oo.
Ayan. Okay, so, balik tayo sa PLDT, guys. Sabi nga, uulitin ko lang sinabi ni April, during the pandemic, isa ito sa mga companies na hindi talaga napilayan because everybody started using broadband more, their phones more. So both data and their mobile services parehong nag-grow. Their
Mm-mm.
income rose pa during
Yes,
2020, no?
that's true. Mm-mm.
And you see this going up further. Even
Yes.
kunwari, tapos na yung pandemya, what are the chances na, ano yung risk na pwedeng pumangit yung
Yeah.
performance niya?
Actually, 'di ba nung una, people were a little bit worried about Dito telecommunity.
Yes.
Mabuti naman nag-launch na si Dito, and so far it looks like they're not a threat because of course, they've only managed to invest so much. So it will take time. 'Di ba nga nung nag-launch sila, they have this only data, but the only data is 199 pesos for 1 month. But then the subscribers of PLDT and Globe, on the average, spend less than 199 a month. And not to mention, when Dito launched, only a selected number of phones are compatible. So, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta ng tindahan tapos sabihin, I wanna get the SIM of Dito, mabibigyan ka. So, yun pa yung naging isang issue. So, it seems like, nag-launch tapos hindi siya naging threat. Therefore, okay, that's not a concern, di ba? Yun lang naman. So, at least nakahinga yung mga tao na parang, okay, hindi pala threat ang third telco. Kaya pala. And not to mention, I mean, maybe in other countries, sanay na yung mga tao sa data. But here in the Philippines, you still have a lot of people who, are just starting to, di ba, have a taste of what data is like. So, we're still in early stages. Kaya, hindi pa nakakatakot na nako, baka mature na, mag-agawan na sila, tapos magbagsakan ng presyo, di ba? In fact, they're spending so much money every year on capital expenditures so that the experience of people when they use data is improving or become much better.
Let's talk about the historical price. Naalala ko pa yung mga times na nasa 800 pa lang yung PLDT. Tapos, I think during the late 2000s, no, umakyat ng 3,000 plus. And then now it's 1,255 yung price niya kahapo. And then, no Thursday, kasi walang
Yes.
trading kahapon.
Uh,
At this price, is it still cheap?
Oh yeah, I think it's still cheap. As you've said earlier, it went up to as high as 3,000. Just to explain what happened, ano. Kasi before, 'di ba, ang mga tao, when you have a mobile phone, it's usually call and text, 'di ba? Call and text, call and text. And then what happened was there was a si Globe, nung unang nagkaroon ng data, Globe was the one that was aggressive in data. Smart was a little bit hesitant pa kasi kung mag-transition siya into data, paano na yung mga subscribers niya? It might eat into its market share and profitability. So, since it took it took PLDT a while to transition into data, naagawan siya ng market share ni Globe, di ba? That's why, and of course, we know that because people transitioned out of calls and text, tapos it lost market share, bumaba pati ang net profits, which isn't good, di ba? But now, you would think that naging obsolete na, di ba? Obsolete na nga yung call and text, di ba? Kasi halos wala na. Pero
Viber na lang nga tayo, di ba?
so, di ba? So, yung data nga, but at this stage already, no, starting I think 2018 or 2019, you saw data already, becoming big enough to offset the lost income from or the drop in
Text.
texts and calls. And in fact, people are now spending more, willing to top up to get access to data, which is good. So, ibig sabihin mga tao, kasi in the past, mapapansin mo yung spending per person on cellular phone services pababa. Pero now, it's actually going up per person, even though, let's say, your subscriber base, kasi almost everybody has cell phones at this point. So, ang kailangan mong mangyari is, wala ka nang maasahan sa subscriber growth. Ang asahan mo na lang is people spend more. And because they're enjoying the use of data, they are spending more on data. So, that's what we're seeing right now, which is why it's exciting because the telcos are back in a growth phase, but in a different way, di ba? Not on
Yeah.
subscribers anymore. Mhm.
Oo, pero yung valuation nito April kasi we might be looking at more they need to invest more ano because the base is growing. Demographic shows that a lot more people will need broadband. Lahat ng connections na ito kailangan, and right now marami pa ring reklamo di ba? Parang kulang pa rin yung backbone, hindi pa masyadong strong. Ayan, hindi maka-add to cart yung iba kasi nauubos yung
Oo.
data. So they will have to invest more.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a drag in their financials, yung need for more
Well,
investments?
yeah. Well, so far the earnings are more than enough to fund the required capital expenditure. So it's not a concern. The fact that they can still give out, say, 60-70% of their profits as cash dividends is actually a sign that they're very healthy, and it's not a concern. 50, 60 billion, 70 billion is something that they can afford to do on an annual basis.
Sarap, no? Sana pwede rin yun galing sa pocket ko yung 60 billion. Ay, kailangan na investment 60 billion. Eto, bigay ko sa'yo. Di ba? Ang sarap lang. Last question, April. Is PLDT a good investment for those who are retirees, near retiring, or young people? Sino ba dapat ang maglagay ng pera dito?
Well, in general, our recommendation for stocks would be for the younger people, no? Because of course, stocks would entail volatility. And even though, generally our view is positive, I mean, who knows, diba? Anything can happen. Like this COVID, I mean, we never expected it to be this way. And even though it was here last year, we thought it would be the same experience as the bird flu in Hong Kong, di ba? It lasted for less than a year. But now, more than a year later, it's actually still here and back with a vengeance, di ba? So, uh, in general, we still recommend stocks for younger people. And of course, diversified, not only PLDT if you want to buy stocks, no? Like, diba, I mean, if you talk to Edward, he would recommend maybe a core satellite strategy, maybe just buy a fund and then add PLDT on the side para may konting kicker, di ba yung mga ganon. Yun. So maybe, I mean, I'm not saying if you're old, you shouldn't buy it, but make it a small part of your portfolio so that at least you have some income, higher income generating asset. And in
Mm-mm.
case you live up to 99 years old, like the Duke of Edinburgh. Kasi,
Yeah.
yan ang problema di ba? Sa totoo lang, it's either you die too early or you die too late, di ba? Yung mga problema natin sa buhay. Kailangan,
Oh,
hindi natin pwede ibenta lahat ng stocks natin kahit matanda na tayo kasi paano kung hindi ka mamatay agad, di maubusan ka ng pera, di ba?
yun ang takot. Grabe. Paano kung hindi ka mamatay agad? May phone-in question po. Yung Converge daw po ba ay threat sa PLDT?
Hindi naman. Ano yan as far as the broadband in the Philippines is concerned, still very early days at this point kasi yung penetration rate ng broadband in the Philippines is still very, very low to the point that, it's big enough for all three players to grab, di ba? I mean, in fact, in some locations, hindi ka naman makakapili kung sino lang ang may service, yun lang ang, di ba?
Totoo.
Oo. So not yet at this point. Parang and not to mention PLDT has the advantage of being there talaga ever since. So and they have more money, 'di ba? So I don't think it's a threat. It's more like they can coexist at this point. Wala pa tayo dun sa phase na yon na kailangan nila magpatayan at magagawan.
At ang mga Pilipino pa naman, 'di ba very brand loyal yung mga Pinoy. Pag dito na sila, parang ang hirap nang mag-transfer sa iba. At dahil diyan, gusto ko nang pabalikin si Adi dahil alam ko si Adi, maraming itatanong sa iyo dahil hindi nga daw siya pa masyadong marunong sa stocks. So, Adi,
Na-expose
this
ako
is
nun.
your chance. This is your chance. At marami na pong questions from our viewers. Kaya pwede na nating, ayan na, may unang tanong, pero Adi, just chime in if you have any questions, uunahin kita. Projection daw po sa PSEI by end of the year. At ako lagi ko tong sinasabi, April, alam mo naman ng aking investment style. Lagi kong sinasabi, wala naman kasi talagang nakakaalam kung saan exactly, pero itatanong ko din. Lagi ko
What
ba
is PSEI muna?
Ay, ayan, ang ganda. Sige. Very good
Ayan.
question, Adi.
Yeah. The PSEI index, that's parang pinagsama mo yung performance ng 30 stocks that are part of the stock exchange. Those are the mga blue chips. So, kasi ang hirap naman, sabi, kumusta ang market? So, you need a representation. So, parang pinagsama mo yung mga stocks na yon and then you measure their performance relative to their market cap. Kasi pag mas malaki yung weighting niya. Pag mas maliit, mas maliit. So,
Where
yeah.
can we access this index?
Sa
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 site
PSE
meron naman.
website, yeah, if you go to a broker, ayan yung mga tinitingnan ng mga tao when you watch the news, they talk about the market was up. When they say the market is up, they usually talk about the PSEI index. 'Di ba? Para mabilis. Yung pinagsama na nila, 'di ba?
So when you look at the ticker, Adi, kunwari you watch ANC, you'll always see them talking about the PSEI. Para yan yung temperature ng tao. Di ba? During COVID, you always take the temperature NCT, ganun, para malaman kung may sakit ba siya, wala ba siyang sakit, risk ba siya. The PSEI is like the temperature of the stock market. That's how you know whether it's going up or going down. Tama ba ako, April?
Yeah, oo. Parang,
So what is the threshold of this one? Meron bang threshold na kung bad stock
around,
or good?
it's around 6.5. Well, technicians, they look at the chart. It depends on how long you'd like to look at. But usually, they look at a 6-month chart, a 1-year chart, no? Yung mga ganon, yung mga traders, yun ang tinitignan. At they do technical analysis to determine what the trend is, no? Well, yun. And then, syempre, huwag nyo na akong tanongin tungkol sa charts kasi hindi ako magaling. Pero, oo.
Cute mo, April. Talagang sinasabi mo yan. Meron kasi silang separate, meron si Wanis, yun yung chartist nila. But
Oo,
April
oo.
knows all about the charts. Ano lang yan, very humble. So, tama ba ako, April? I mean, for beginners like Adi,
Mm-mm.
6'5" might not mean anything. Di
Yeah,
ba?
yun lang yung
Ano yung
level.
6'5"?
Oo.
So you look
Kunwari,
at that.
parang let's say nag-shopping ka, tapos kailangan mo lang ng context na, ngayon, magkano ba yung presyo ng, say, Ferrari, di ba? Para malalaman mo kung tumaas ba yung presyo or bumaba. So that's just like context. Where are we today? Where was it last year? And where is it headed? And then I guess the question is, where is it headed? Honestly, prior to all of this, prior to the unanticipated surge in infections,
Thank you, Charm.
were expecting the PSEI to end the year at the 8,000 level. But I don't know yet what the impact will be. Definitely, it's negative. But some analysts are saying 7.5, no, 7.3. So that said, we're at around the 6.4, 6.5 level. I think 7.3 is still a good upside, di ba? But putting things into context, 6.5 for me is a good level actually, relative to the earnings. So kung long-term investor ka, I think it's
Thank
really
you.
good
Maraming
place.
salamat po, Kanel, sa Communiverse. Thank you po.
Wait, so with a good level, so sorry because I am trying to analyze how this works talaga. Pero kasi you
Ang cute
said
ni
po
Ate.
na 6.4, 6.5 is a good level. So it means na it's okay to buy right now kasi
Yeah.
it is relatively cheaper than
Yeah. Because kami, it's more like, when you buy stocks, parang bumibili ka ng pag-aari ng company eh. And then when you try to determine whether you want to buy a company, it's all relative to how it is expected to earn, di ba? So we have a measure on the, let's say, cheapness, which is the price to earnings ratio. Kung how many times its earnings. Let's say, if a stock is trading at 10 times PE, it means that in 10 years, based on what it's earning today, mababayaran mo yung value niya, di ba? Parang ganun siya. So, pag 30 times, it will take you 30 years based on its current earnings. So, ang gusto mo, mas mababa na PE ratio. Yun. But,
Yun, ang galing. Well,
ganun
so April, kung ang upside ng PSEI ganun, do you think PLDT can outperform?
PLDT can outperform well kung sa target price, mukhang pwede, no? Um, but, I think all I can say is kasi on the downside risk, mas konti. Kasi it's a type of stock, if it's gonna go up, I don't think it'll go up that much sharply because first of all, hindi naman siya pinatay. Kasi may mga stocks tayo who have been sold down maybe 60%, 70%. So yung mga yon pag nag-rebound, mas malaki. But at the same respect, yung PLDT was not sold down as much. But at the same respect, at least, ano bang negative surprise mo, mas maliit, tapos may cash dividend ka pa. So, medyo nasa middle ground siya, especially for newbies na takot sa volatility. I think it's a good stock.
Yeah. Ayun, so also a piece of advice for Adi, the stock market can go up and down talaga. Parang siguro presyo ng baboy. Di ba? Minsan ang mahal, tapos biglang okay
minsan
na
ang
ulit,
baba.
tapos mahal na ulit. So, if you're a newbie and you don't know the rules of the game, you might lose money dahil matatakot ka pag bumagsak na. So, I think the best thing to do when you're a newbie is to learn first, invest little by little, so that even if you lose, it won't be too difficult, too painful. And always listen to April when she talks about it. And para sa mga nanonood ngayon, manood po kayo ng Financial Saturday natin lagi para mas maraming information on how to invest. Adi, we will continue the discussion off cam. If you want to learn more about the stock market, Alright, pero magpapa-flash lang po ako ng, ayan, aral muna daw bago mag-invest. Si
True.
Fitz po nakakatuwa kasi nagmo-moderate siya ng discussion sa YouTube at sinasagot niya yung ibang katanungan kasi April nagtatanong what are the things that they can do to start investing. So yes, you have to learn first, open, grabe, meron talagang plug dito, open an account to the stockbroker like Call Financial. Tapos, ifa-fund mo yung account mo and then invest regularly. Ayan. Tapos, meron pa pong,
Thank you,
may
Fitz.
question about A-REIT. Thank you, David. Question about A-REIT, very quickly lang, we'll just go through all of the questions. And I think there's one question here for Adi also. How many times per year daw po ang declaration ng dividends ng A-REIT?
Quarterly yan. 4 times a year.
Ayan.
Nagde-declare siya ng cash dividend.
Ito yung tanong kanina. Tapos na natin to masagot. Insights on the franchising business. Siguro sagutin natin to next week kasi magkakaroon tayo ng mga franchising gurus. Wala na siguro. May question ako kay Ma'am April. Kailan po mag-a-accept ng Call Financial ng new applicant kasi nag-stop yata kayo because of ang daming open ng account.
Oh, malapit na actually. Kasi ang naging issue, just to clarify, you know, parang twofold. First of all, in January, nung nauso yung maraming speculative stocks, there were a lot of people who really wanted to buy. And then, I admit the quality of our platform actually deteriorated. But, that said, it's ano lang yan parang kang may restaurant, alam mo namang puno yung restaurant, alam mo naman tanggapin yung mga, di ba, mga customers. So, nagsara muna kami. To be fair to existing clients, di ba? And secondly kasi, at that point, si Mr. Lee was already worried because he knew it was the tail end of this speculative mania that was happening. So, sabi niya, mabuti nang wag na nating papasukin kasi usually yung mga nasusunog, yung mga pumapasok ng last at sila yung mga naiipit kasi 'di ba? Sila yung nahihigop na mga kumikita ng malaki tapos hindi sila marunong mag-exit. So now that the interest on those issues have died down, we feel that we can already open open or allow people to open accounts. But it will be soon. Abang-abangan nyo, malapit na yan.
Ayan. Pero merong final question sa'yo, pero yung add to cart niya daw, magti 3 months na, hindi pa rin nakaka-check out, Adi, kasi wala siyang budget. Ayan.
Well,
wala
okay.
sagot si Adi, ganun na lang.
Well,
actually,
okay
alam mo,
yun, pero,
ginagawa ko rin yan, yung add to cart.
Talaga?
Tapos, hindi ko rin binibili. Umaabot ng taon.
I'm not sure na if this works, pero just leave your items in your cart and sometimes the shop will message you with a voucher so that you can so that you have a discount dun sa item na yun. Kasi they would know kapag that item is in your cart tapos hindi mo pa siya binibili. So like some sellers really send you discounts para you can check out now. So just leave it for like 1 week. Tapos the sellers will see that and then you will get discounts on that item.
Uy, wow! Ang saya! Ang saya nito. Adi, lagi ka na lang guest dito. Meron tayong shopping tips. Ayan, ang dami nang na-amaze sa'yo because at a very young age, ang dami mo nang alam about managing your money better. Yan. Tapos, sabi niya, may phone-in questions daw po talaga. Si Adi daw po ba ay single at may boyfriend na daw po ba si April?
I'm not single. I'm taken na po.
At si April po, ano po ang kasagutan dito?
I'm married and I have 2 kids.
Grabe. Ayan, aray daw. Aray daw, sabi nila. Thank you so much for all our viewers today. I'm afraid this is the only time that we have. Thank you so much, Adi. You've created a new movement among baguettes on how to save wisely, save better, and think about the future more. April, always, always naman akong happy whenever I have a chance to talk to you. Marami-marami talagang natututunan ang ating mga viewers. Ayan, ilang taon na ba tayong nag-uusap, April? Ang tagal na nito, ah.
Matagal na.
Tagal na. Parang
Yeah.
hindi pa rin ako tumatangkad, ikaw gumaganda pa rin. So, maraming salamat po. I'd like to
Thank you
tell
all.
you, thank you to all our viewers, to everyone on Kumu, who our 12 million followers and viewers who sent us all the
Ayan
virtual
na yung
gifts.
girlfriend
Maraming
ko.
maraming salamat.
Nag-comment.
Ayan na yung Thank you, Sophia. Ayan, guys. Oh, oh, cute, ganon. Ayan. So, in closing, everyone, maraming salamat po again for watching Financial Saturday. I hope you join us again next week. This is always 8 to 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. You can watch with your significant other, di ba? Para mas matuto tayo how to manage your money wisely and to invest wisely the way April Litan teaches it. In closing, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about why I got into investing. So everybody, well, lagi ko namang sinasabi na we started poor. Thank you, Lisa. Ayan, may fan ka rin dito. Yan, best friend ko po yan from college. Ayan, so I started my life not knowing about any investment at all. Ang alam ko lang po na, di ba, na I was born in Bicol in a family na very, well, maraming lupain pero walang cash. And the only thing that I remember when I was young was not to go into debt. So when I started to go to Metro Manila, I had a scholarship in UP Diliman. Medyo sometimes feeling mo you're not good enough because you're not as rich as your friends, or nung nagsisimula ako mag-cover as a business reporter, and I started interviewing the likes of the Taipans, Lucio Tan, ganyan. Pupunta ako ng mga tawag nito, mga, di ba April at night, merong mga cocktails and then the reporters will mingle. Alam niyo po yung feeling ko nang nakikita ko all of these big businessmen and yung sapatos ko binili ko sa Cubao. Yung wala pa po kasing Shopee noon. 'Di ba? Binili ko sa Cubao, tapos parang feeling mo, am I not good enough in this world because I cannot be as presentable as they are. Pero I always keep telling myself na your value does not lie in the money that you have in the bank. It lies within you. And so long as you keep your brain sharp, you keep learning about stuff. I am very curious about a lot of things, hindi lang finance. And so long as you're able to affirm yourself to yourself and love yourself, yung pera na yan dadating eh. Dadating yan. And when it comes, remember, don't go into debt, save money for the rainy days, and the extra money that you save, invest it. Para po pagdating ng panahon, ang ating mga anak ay hindi na magiging katulad ko at mas magsisimula sila on better ground. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, April. Any
Thank you
final
so
words
much.
before we leave?
Thank you.
Si Adi muna. Adi, any final words to our viewers?
Well, thank you for inviting me, Miss Salve. Nice meeting you, Miss April. And just follow me on my social media accounts, which is at Adicots on all platforms. So yeah.
Yes, I followed you already. Tagal na.
Thank you.
Actually. Yay. Yes, guys, please follow Adi. Adi, go on Kumu also. Kasi
I am
bubudong.
actually on Kumu.
Oh, you are! Adi Kots din?
Yeah, pero kasi something. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, pero I got suspended for a while.
Oh,
Because of
I wonder why.
something. Yeah.
Sige, magkwentuhan na lang tayo.
Yeah. Okay.
Chismis na lang. Okay, follow Adi on Kumu also on all his social media platforms. Follow April Litan. Nasa iba-ibang platform din siya. Pero guys, hindi siya masyadong nagre-reply doon ha.
Oo,
Kasi
hindi.
busy po siya sa kanyang day job.
Oo.
Ganon.
Sorry. Yeah, but oo.
Final
But
words.
yeah, so thank you, Salve, for inviting me, and keep up the good work so that people will learn about, financial literacy is very important. And I hope that everyone will learn to save what they earn, and set aside part of it to invest in the stock market. And I hope that you will, syempre, hindi ko masabing sa social media kasi hindi naman ako active. Pero I'm more active in
Follow
Twitter.
niyo lang siya. Oo.
Yeah, but I write a column in Inquirer. It comes out every Monday. Most of the Mondays I write articles, and I have a
Mm-mm.
weekly show in ANC, Insight with April Tan, so you can watch me there. And of
Yes.
course, you can read our research reports at CUL Financial. So thank you very much, and stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. They can join the Call Financial Facebook group, 'di ba? Do they
Yes,
have to be an investor? Hindi naman, no?
di
They
naman.
don't
Di
have to be an account out. So, follow the investor group para marami po kayong matutunan. Thank you, April. Thank you, Adi. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood ngayon. We have to say goodbye now. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you
Bye.
also to our Kumu viewers. Maraming salamat. Bye!
Bye.
Saturday is